Alright guys, how you doing? This is Cook and Chill with Chef Charlie. I'm back again and I am going to prepare today a grass-fed beef chuck roast. Okay? And so here it is right here. It's in my pan already. I didn't do anything to it as of yet, but I'm just going to be very simple with this. I'm going to use my favorite taco seasoning. And I'm going to just dust this roast with that taco seasoning and some olive oil. And I'm going to sear it. Now I have a oven hot at 425 right now. So at first I was just going to pop it straight in the oven. But I want to give it a good sear in my skillet pan before I put it in the oven. And then I'm going to bring the temperature down to about 325. Okay? So the reason why I'm using taco seasoning, I know it's so weird, but I just happened to pick up this really good taco seasoning one night when I was actually making tacos, and I've just been using it ever since for everything because it's really good, really authentic, really potent spices, and this has everything that I want on my beef. Usually I wouldn't put paprika, but this paprika is so potent and so like authentic that I really love the flavor. I usually don't like the paprika flavor because it's very, very, very mild and woody, and it's not my favorite. But this one, I love it so much. This has paprika, salt, chili peppers, dehydrated onion, cumin, garlic, and oregano. So all of this stuff, all of these wonderful flavors, I am having that on my beef. So I'm going to just give this a nice little dry dusting, and then I'm going to go back over it with olive oil. Alright, why am I putting my seasoning on first? Because the dry seasoning is what I want the beef to taste like. And the olive oil is just to help it crisp up really good on the outside, because I'm going to sear this, remember, and it's still slightly frozen on the inside, which is, I kind of like that because it ensures that the inside is not going to fully cook, because I'm just going to hit it on all of the sides in a hot skillet. So I'm going to continue with my dusting process. I'm going to give that a little flip and put a little more seasoning. Okay, so I think that to me that is enough seasoning, and I'm going to move my roast around and make sure that it gets the seasoning in the pan. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I'm going to get my skillet hot and I'm going to get ready to sear that. Alright, while we're waiting for the skillet to get hot, I'm going to talk to you about this acorn squash that I have. So I got this half of an acorn squash already gutted out and everything. I got that from my local grocery market, or my local fresh market. And I'm going to roast this / bake it. And I'm going to have that. And I also have a butternut squash. The same way, already cut and gutted out, and just like that from the grocery store. So I got 1/2 butternut and 1/2 acorn. I'm going to just season these with salt and pepper and olive oil. And I'm going to put them in the same pan with my beef, because I want it to evaporate some of that beef flavor and the juices to evaporate and to get, use that steam and all of that residual flavor. And I want it to soak into these squashes. So really quickly, I'm gonna grab sea salt and olive oil. I'm going to hit it with some extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm also going to hit it with the same seasoning that seasoned the beef with, because I kind of want it to mimic that same flavor profile. And because I made cauliflower mac and cheese last night that I'm just going to warm up and go right along with my beef and everything like that. So let's get a new pan. Let's place our olive oil. I've already just sprinkled it with a little bit of olive oil on our squash. Now I'm going to hit it with some boom, boom, boom sea salt real quick. Alright. Now I'm just trying to open up, you know, a little bit more to different ways to utilize squash and other vegetables that I don't use very often, that I'm familiar with, you know, cooking with, but just at home I don't usually get a butternut squash. You know, I don't usually roast it. So a little bit of seasoning on there, and y'all, I am so tempted to throw some cheese and some broccoli and stuff it with that, but I have a plan. Okay, I have a plan that I'm going to be able to better flavorize this meal with my beef. So I'm going to hold off on that temptation. I'm not going to pack this full of shrimp and cream cheese and broccoli like I first decided. But remind me of that later, because I will be doing a stuffed acorn squash with Parmesan cheese and wild rice and shrimp. I do want to do that one day, but today I'm gonna keep it simple with my beef. I'm really excited. I'm also going to throw a little bit of garlic powder on there as well. And for whatever reason, I'm not satisfied with the amount of olive oil on here. And I've also been using coconut oil to cook with, so I'm going to combo a little bit of coconut oil and olive oil on these. Alright. And I'm going to get those roasted in the oven real soon here. Just as I get my pan ready. Okay. That is what your acorn squash looks like. Alright, with that little bit of sea salt, garlic, taco seasoning, and a little bit of coconut oil and olive oil. So with that beef getting ready to get started, I am going to chop up some of this cauliflower that I have. I'm going to use the broccoli for something else. I'm going to chop up this cauliflower, and I'm going to stuff my squash with it, and I'm going to cover it with cheese. Okay, because I just have a very strong feeling that this is going to be the best thing I've ever eaten in my life, and I cannot not at least try that. So here we go. It's going to be super quick. Everything's raw. Everything's raw. I didn't pre-steam or anything. Like, I didn't pre-steam my vegetables because my oven is on a really high temperature. And I don't see it necessary to steam the vegetables. I feel like the heat and the moisture from the vegetables will suffice. So I'm just grabbing that cauliflower, fresh cauliflower, and I'm just chopping it up, rough chop, right inside of the acorn squash. Now for my butternut squash, it has a lot smaller of a opening, so I'm not going to put, say, as much cauliflower in that one, but we'll put some. And I'm gonna put the cream cheese and the Monterey Jack cheese on top, just to give it that pop, pop, pop right on top. Now, I can add shrimp to this or some other type of protein if I wanted to, like beans even. Black beans would be good with this, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it with the cauliflower and cheese because we are having beef with this. Oh, it looks good already, y'all. I didn't even put no cheese or nothing on it, but it looks amazing already. And I'm just gonna put another, okay, my pan is, my skillet is hot and it is ready to sear. So we're gonna put it down. That's what you want to hear when you're searing. You want to hear that shh sound when it hits the hot pan. If it does not make a shh, just then you won't be getting a really good sear. You're starting your sear off completely wrong. It has to make that sound. It is just something about that sound that is so perfectly scientifically capable of making your sear amazing. All right. So I put enough cauliflower in the acorn, and I'm gonna put the rest in here. And there's a few pieces of broccoli because I had the broccoli and the cauliflower mixed together. So I'm not gonna single those pieces of broccoli out. I'll leave it in there. It's gonna make it even better. All right, y'all. So beef is searing. I'm just hitting it on each side real quick. All right. Some cream cheese in first. And the way I do my cream cheese, really simple, nothing too dramatic. I just open it up, take a knife or a spoon, and I just chunk it off like that. Pieces, just chunks of cream cheese, just like that, right on top. Not too crazy, nothing too dramatic. And then I will be overlaying this with some Monterey Jack cheese. So the whole filling is going to be white. From the cauliflower to the cream cheese to the Monterey Jack cheese on top. Alright. Now I have already seasoned the inside of the squash. Oh, perfect. I've already seasoned the inside of the squash. So I'm going to let that seasoning go, and I'm going to let it ride with what we already have in the pan. Okay. Boom. Let's flip. Flip our beef. Then all we want is a good sear. Oh, and that's a great sear. I'm going to let y'all see it in just a second. Oh, that looks amazing. So I'm so excited. Just that first turn just has me so excited about that. Wonderful. Alright, y'all. So next up for the squash is the Monterey Jack cheese, which I have here. And I'm going to take a few slices right off the top and put it right over. None of this is going to be super fancy or anything. All of my slices of cheese, all of my pieces of cheese are chunky. Big chunky pieces of cheese. That's the way I want it. I want it to look kind of rough and bumpy and melty and delicious when it's all over. When it's all said and done. Alright? That's the goal. Alright, and then I'm going to put a little bit more of that cheese on the butternut sauce as well. I mean, when I tell y'all y'all can see it. This beef looks good. I'm gonna give y'all a close up, but y'all can see it kind of.